It's August, Artsy August Bingo, Kara, Brandon, and Friends Facebook Challenge. I'm going to be participating in this. At least I'm going to give it a good try. Now, the way that Kara wants to play bingo is she's provided us with this Artsy Bingo card. And as you can see, there are spaces there, but instead of numbers, we have ideas for things to do. The first one being embossing, and then there's watercolor, decoupage, stencils, a free choice, glitter paper, gel plate, sewing and fabric, stamps, inks, and sprays. The idea is to do a project, I guess as often as you would like, and then you post your photographs in the hashtag Artsy August Bingo link in Kara's Facebook group. In order to play, if you'd like to play, you have to find Kara on Facebook and join her group. So what I'm doing here today is I'm starting mine, and I'm going to show and share what I'm doing for the first one on the list, which is embossing. For me, embossing does not always make me think of rubber stamp embossing, although many other people, that's exactly what they do. I see I have a glare here. I don't know if I can fix that. No, it's too dark. I have embossing folders, and I don't have a fancy embossing machine. I have this little Sizzix. I've had it for years, and I like using it to do embossing, and I think I have to replace it because it's starting to make noises when I turn the crank. So for my first, the first things I want to do are some embossing, and what I'm going to do is share with you. One of the other projects in Kara's group is Flamingo Fridays, and I'm in that as well. And there's a kit, and if you want information about that, again, you can go to her Facebook group and you can find out about that. These are some of the makes for one of the weeks that I'm working on, and I want to do some embossing with these. So what I'm going to do is put this in an embossing folder, and I'm going to put them in together because I am actually going to be gluing. This is a pocket that's going to go in a journal, and this is a postcard. I'm going to glue the postcard on top of the pocket around 3 edges, and then the postcard itself will become a place for tucking things, and then I'll be gluing it on the page on 3 edges, and then this would be another place to insert any kind of ephemera, tags, journaling cards, what have you. So I'm going to put that in here, and I'm going to put that. Always have to kind of look at this little guide that comes with the embossing boutique. The texture boutique is what I have, and you kind of make a sandwich with this, and then there's a slot here in the embossing machine, and then you turn this crank, and you keep turning it till it goes through. Now this, as I get, depending on the circumstances, sometimes my embossing machine does not like the thickness, but it seems to be going through fine. I'm going to bring it back. You only usually have to pass through once, but I'm going to bring it back to give it some extra embossing pressure. Whoops, there it goes. Sorry about the camera wiggling too. Okay, now, I'm sure many of you have seen this before. You don't really need to see me doing it again, but any beginners might like to see. I don't know if you can see the emboss. and it embossed both pieces on both sides. So that one's finished and ready for me to put together. This is another pocket. I'm going to put that through, but I think I'm going to use a different folder. I'm going to use this one that I have that has flowers on it. So I'm going to put that in there. Let's see, I think I want that more like that. Okay. I'm sorry my camera is so close to my desk, but the way I have to set things up here in my little workspace doesn't allow me to get the camera any higher right now. And I'm just going to run that through one time on this one, see how that goes. You see that? Yes, I like that. I actually think I should have turned it over though, because I would have liked this raised edge there, but it doesn't matter. I like it that way too, but I have to remember that now. I have this backwards. The name should be up. So I want to do these pieces as well, and since that went through, I'm going to do these two. These two, what I'm going to do, I think, is fold them over. I probably mount these to heavier weight paper. Maybe paper that has lines on it, and make little tablets with these. But I'm going to put both of these in here now, and I think I'm still going to stick with the flowers on that. I don't have a lot of stencils. Embossing stencils. There it goes again. One of these days I think it's just probably going to stop working. I think maybe I might have broken one of the little plastic gears inside there. As I said, I've had it for a long time, and maybe it's time for me to upgrade to a much more sophisticated one. I think I'd like to get one that has that I can do dies in as well. I'd love to have some die cut pieces. There we go. I like that. Okay. And let's see. I have this, and then I have another card here I want to use. I'm going to use something to, no, I'm going to stick with the flowers, I think, because of this tropical theme. This is an envelope from Julie, and I think I'm going to close it. And I'm going to put that in there. Well, I did that wrong. But it turned out okay. I like that. Yes, I like the extra texture that it gave to the envelope. And not sure, but I might use some ink and rub ink around on those areas and have them pop up off the paper. Yeah, let's get this the right direction now. Okay, and I think I have, whoops, sorry, Hope I'm not making you seasick. I'm going to switch over now to a different embossing folder. I'm going to use this one, and along with this last tropical piece that I want to emboss, I'm working on a bee journal, and I'm going to add these tiny tags to do some embossing and do something a little interesting on that as well. And I'm going to put them all in at the same time. So, since they're thin paper, it shouldn't be that it's too much for the embossing folder to take. But that can happen too if your papers or items that you're putting through the embosser are too thick. There are ways that you can change your plates around, and that would create a problem sometimes for it to go through. See how they turned out. I like that. I don't know if you can see that on there, but yes, it gives it a nice texture, and it does that with the tags too. I like that. Gives it a nice texture. Okay, and I have one last thing. It was another card that an envelope that I put together, and so it's a little pocket, a little envelope, and I think I would like some texture on that too, and I think I'm going to just use this folder, and this will be the last one that I'm going to be putting through the embossing machine. Then I have a few pieces that I'm going to rubber stamp and emboss. Yeah, I like that. Yep. Okay, so we're finished with this. I'm going to put this away. And now I have some stamps and some pieces that I want to do embossing with. I have some bees to go on to the bee pieces, and then I have this piece. It's floral, and it could be tropical. I don't know for sure for this. Alright, so I'm going to mount it on here on this clear thing, and those will be for the bees. These are the pieces that I want to use the floral on, and I think maybe I will overlap that. I want to get a large piece of paper here to put under this for when I do put the embossing powder down. It seems awfully dark over here. Sorry for that interruption. My camera battery needed to be recharged, so I'm back. And while I was doing that, I took some of the pieces that I embossed and used on this one. I used the Neo Color, these crayons on here, and I thought that got very pretty. It's the back side. I didn't do anything to that yet. I probably won't, because I'm going to probably glue this into a journal. If I don't and I tuck it, then I will color the back. And then this is the envelope, which I have not glued it together, but this is the envelope. And here I use some of the gelatos, different shades of gelato on there. And it's a lot lighter, but that's fun too. So you could use a variety of things to color the part, the embossed part. Okay, now we're back to these pieces, which I intend to rubber stamp and emboss with stamping. And I'm going to use this image on that. So, as I said, I'm not very good at rubber stamping, but we'll give this a try. For this one, I want to go over the edge a little bit there. I hope that got okay. So one thing with embossing, using the clear embossing, you don't know until after you put that powder down and heat set it what you're going to be getting. And this one I'm going to go kind of like that, I think. And I've decided I'm going to use, it says clear. I don't want to use clear, do I? I didn't realize I had clear. Let's see. I think I have white. Let me find the white. No, I have some gold. I think I'll go with gold on that. You can see the images there. Apparently, I was successful. And here it is on this one. Now we have to clean up the glitter. Well, that didn't work out very well. Trying to keep it on in the camera view. I guess it was out of my view. It wasn't so good. Okay, now I need to heat set that. Sorry about that. I guess I just didn't think of getting this. that looks pretty. And I think this is pretty as it is, but there's not really adequate ink on that one, but it's okay. I'm okay with that. I think it's still pretty. So there are those two with the embossing. And then I was going to do some with the bumblebees. Where did I put them? Here we are. And with that, I have two bumblebees. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Yeah. As you can tell, I'm not used to doing this. I think we're just going to go with that. And I have black powder to go with this one. I can hear some of the rubber stamper community out there yelling, "That's not the right way, Linda. That's not how you do it." I'm sorry if it is upsetting to those who are in the know. Okay, I hope I can get the powder on there and that it's not dried. Looks like I haven't used this one. And you know, maybe my ink pad is actually too, oops, wow, too old. And because I've had these inks and powders for a very long time. Some of them were actually my mother's. She liked to make cards. She lived to be in her 80s, and she made birthday cards and Christmas cards, and she did a lot of rubber stamping. And these, some of these supplies were hers, and so they might be a little on the old side, but we will use them and see how they work. That does not look very good, but let me move this out of the way. And put another piece of paper under here to do this. And now let's do the heat gun on that. See how these get. There's not enough ink on that, and so therefore the embossing powder didn't have much to adhere to. So they didn't get very good. Well, that's okay. This is just like a scrap piece that I could experiment with. You can try it again. I have some other pads. Maybe I can try some other pads. My bees are flying away. Well, I would say that one's pretty good, and that one's pretty good. So out of my embossing, there's a few pieces that I thought got very nice, and I'm happy with them, and I will continue my journey on making these into ephemera for my journal, for my bee journal, and for Flamingo Friday makes. I hope you enjoyed watching. I will have links below this video for Kara's Artsy August Bingo, where you can find out the information. And hope you enjoyed. Hope you can like and subscribe. Bye.